Well, since last time Pop Smoke got killed, uh, I talked to him like 2 or 3 days before.
Wow.
We were supposed to do an interview that next day. Me and him were talking to each other for months. Like he wanted to do the interview, but we just kept being on opposite coasts. Every time I'd go to New York, he'd be in LA, and then vice versa. And he was coming back to New York, and I was just gonna say fuck it and do the interview remotely, not tell him I wasn't gonna be there, and just do it because he was getting hotter and hotter. And I remember congratulating him for the Jack Boys project,
Right. Like that
and
was a moment where you're like, oh shit, this dude is out of
this
here.
dude is
Like
out of here. Yeah, yeah. When he was on that album with Travis Scott, I said, oh, okay, here we go.
Travis was basically like using the Pop Smoke energy to make that project hot.
Yeah, I mean he used Pop Smoke's producer, I think, because it sounded like just like the other Pop Smoke beats.
Mm.
Uh and then out of nowhere, he got killed, and it's been over a month, and LAPD has not announced any sort of leads, especially now when LAPD ain't doing nothing because of coronavirus. It might just be a dead case at this point. Might
I
just
couldn't
be,
believe that.
might be a cold case at this point.
When I heard about him getting killed, I thought for sure like these dudes killed him in the hills. There's cameras everywhere, all over the city.
Yeah, Hollywood Hills.
How the fuck is there not like a camera at sort of the base of where you got to start driving up through there and
Yeah,
everything? I was so shocked by the idea that they couldn't get a license plate or anything like that. Like, and what's really crazy is that, I said I was about a house. He got killed like a mile and a half from my house. Like,
really.
and it's not like you hear the hills and like people who've driven around in the Hollywood Hills know that it's like long curving roads going all over the place. If you had to turn around on one of those roads, it would be a nightmare. You're going up, the other car coming the other way. You both got to like sort of slow down and go around each other. Basically, it's like the kind of place where if you were to want to commit a crime, it would be
A horrible choice.
right, but it would be tricky making the getaway because
Yeah.
it's such like a fucking weird, convoluted route up there. The spot where he actually got killed was not all the way up in there. It was actually like pretty close access to like getting right back onto the major highways and streets in Hollywood. I still can't wrap my head around why anybody would want to kill him.
Uh, Nobody knows.
Hmm.
I wish I could say, okay, something. I've talked to some people, and
No,
well, like I could tell you who killed Tupac. Like I can't tell you who killed Pop Smoke on or off camera
or what
or why.
he would have done that would have made people in LA mad enough at him that
Might not have been LA guys, might have been New York guys.
maybe
I think
that's a good point.
it gives a cautionary tale that you do not want to put your address out there on social media, which is something he did. Not to say this is the reason that led up to his murder.
But it made it way too easy.
It made it way too easy. He's literally flashing his address on Instagram Live, and it's like, yo, like you don't know where I live. Like I live in Calabasas. Everyone knows that. Yes, I live in the city of Calabasas. You do not know where I live. And where I do live is a gated community on top of that. You've never seen pictures of my house. You know how all these rappers are showing their new house and whatever else. You've never seen any of that. Very few people have been to my house, like you included.
Yeah.
And it's not personal. It's just that I just don't bring people to my house.
No, I the same thing.
Yeah.
I had a house for 6 months. I maybe had 5 of my friends come over.
I haven't even had 5 of my
No.
friends, and I've been there for years.
But I mean, there's no reason for that.
Yeah.
Especially when you have an office space. Like I have an office.
Yeah. Come to my
you want
office.
to talk?
Yeah.
Come to the office.
Come to the office.
Yeah.
Come to my studio.
Yeah.
You can hang out there. Very, very sad, man. He was only 20. Broke my heart, man. It really broke my heart.
I was in New York, and my boy Black Dave, who does like content for us out there, he was in communication with him, and there was one day where we were supposed to, I think it might have been November that I was out there. We were supposed to go out to his hood and film on the street, just like talk to him on his block, go around, see whatever he wanted to do in his neighborhood. And I remember that day we walked outside, and I had been texting Pop Smoke. We walked outside. It was so windy. It was so windy, and it was so cold. And I remember like looking right at the cameraman and being like, do you think your mic is seriously going to be able to film outside with this? And he's like, it's going to be rough. And I'm like, fuck. Like we just right there, we're like, maybe we could do this a different day. Like maybe we'll do this tomorrow, maybe whatever. And like we just didn't get that content done. And it just, it's like it's always like that when people pass that you're cool with, like, oh, I was supposed to do another X interview. I was supposed to do this with Pop Smoke. We never really got to sit down. I did a little like 2-minute thing at Rolling Loud with him on camera. That was about it.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to do G Money right before he got killed. I was supposed to do Dick Gregory right before he died. I was supposed to do Ronnie Newt again before he died. You'll be surprised if you're in this business long enough. You'll be surprised how many people die right before your interview.
The morning before Peep died, I remember thinking I should hit Peep up and try to redo that interview because we lost the audio the first time we did it. Like that morning, I was thinking, if I hit him up right now, I bet that now would be a good time. I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
And a couple hours later.